Hi, it's Aram here. I did an upgrade class for a baker. Let me tell you everything we did during the class. This video is going to be so long because we did this class over 2 weeks and I have compiled it into this 3-minute video. She wanted to learn how to make wedding cakes using fondant. So first of all, we learned how to make fondant, kept it in the freezer. Then we had another meeting. She brought in her cake layers. We learned how to trim because we had to trim the cakes well if we are going to use fondant to cover it. When I was compiling this video, I realized that I didn't take videos of the parts where we covered the dummies. I showed her how to cover the dummies before moving on to the real cake. For the dummies, we were working with 10 and 8 inch, so I covered the 10 and she covered the 8. Now using that knowledge, I helped her to cover the 6 inch and she was going to work on a 4 inch and cover it herself. In this class, we also learned how to use different colors to make the marble like you're seeing here. I showed her some techniques in achieving sharp edges for her cake. We learned how to make royal icing for stenciling. We agreed on the stencil we wanted to use and I showed her how to stencil. So that's the 10-inch dummy I am stenciling. I was demonstrating how to stencil for her and she was going to do the 8, and this was her stenciling the 8 inch. So for the marble design we made for the 6 inch, we outlined it with gold. This was how our cake tiers were looking at this point. I was in a hurry for us to assemble, so I asked her to assemble the cake so that we see how it looks like. She stuck the cake tiers and we added a bit more detail, so we added borders for the 6 inch. And at this point we were discussing how to transport cakes to the wedding venue, among other things. We arranged our flowers nicely on the cake and this was how it was looking for the 3 tier. For the 4th tier, we learned how to make ganache. So we used the white chocolate ganache to cover the 4th tier. It was a 4 inch, like 3 or 4 layers. This was the first coat. I know it doesn't look appealing now, but wait for the second coat. We covered it again. After the second covering, we left it to sit for a while whilst we went ahead to work on our fondant. For the 4th tier, we decided to go for a lighter shade of peach because those were the colors we were working with and it was going to complement the other tiers. So here she did everything by herself, measuring, cutting, covering, everything. I was just there to supervise her. At this point, I was becoming a proud teacher because just look at the way she's covering the cake over some few weeks of meeting. I'm available for an upgrade class if you know how to make cakes and you want to upgrade to simple but elegant wedding cakes. I am here for you and I am giving a 10% discount if you are joining this class. She was done covering in no time. This was how it looked like when we flipped, and look at that sharp edge. We went back to our 3 tier to add the 4th tier to it. We took off the flowers of the 6th so that we'll be able to add the 4th tier. Then we put the flowers back and this was how, look at how gorgeous this looks. After contemplating for a while, I decided to add flowers to the 4th tier. I didn't regret that decision at all because it looked so gorgeous. Let me know what you think in the comments. That'll be all for this video. I will see you in my next video. Bye.